Hello student, last time we discussed about the class diagram. Okay, we already discussed about the what is UML. Full form of the UML is asked in the many exams. Unified modeling language. Okay, so this is very useful for the exam point of view. And what is the class diagram? That in class diagram there are three entity will be available. One is a class name, which is in the top section. The second point is attributes, or you can say property of the class, that is in the middle section. Third one is behavior or operation of method of the class, which is bottom of the section. Okay, let's see on the diagram. If you can see in the diagrams, the first one is class name, second part is a attributes of the class, and third part is operation, or you can say the behavior of the class. Okay, so this is the class diagram. Okay, there are three different sections. Okay, class name, attributes, and behavior or operations. Okay, and another point is a syntax. Okay, and visibility of the class. Okay, that is very important in the exams. First we discuss about the syntax. What is the syntax? Visibility, attribute name, attribute data type, and initial value. If you see over here, the whatever syntax written in the square bracket are optional, and user is supposed to specify the value for items enclosed in the angle brackets. Whatever the value have to mention by the user, that is written in the angular bracket, and the square bracket is not a useful, or you can say that is the optional one. Okay, and another point is visibility. That is the very important points for the exams point of view. So many times this will ask in the exams. Visibility can be private, protected, public, or you can say package. They represent in the different symbols. Okay, you can see at the bottom I mentioned the box over here, visibility, and opposite side I mentioned the symbols. Okay, so private visibility symbol is dash, protected visibility symbol is hash, public visibility symbol is plus, package visibility symbol is tilt. Okay, so these are the visibility and their symbols. Okay, and here it mentions the desk, that means private, balance, and these are the syntax whatever we mention over here. Attribute names over here, balance, then attribute data type, which is float, equal to initial value. Okay, which is 0.0. So here I mention the value in angular bracket. Okay, so initial value is 0.0. So these are the syntax and the visibility and their symbols. See over here, there are two different class will be available, P1 and P2, P1 person and P2 person, and look at their attributes or characteristics is a different. Okay, here the name of the person P1 is different, and here name of the person P2 is different, but this object remains same, like name, city, gender, birth date, profession, which is same for the both class, but their value is changed. Okay, value means this one, name, Ahmedabad, city is changed. Okay, so there are the value is changed, but these attributes, these remain the same. Now we come to the third part about the encapsulation. So what is encapsulation? So encapsulation is computer program. Two core elements are data and functions, or you can say data and the method that manipulate that data are guarded against the modification or misuse by other components of the program. Okay, that means there are many object or many programs is available in the single class will be available. So what exactly happen in the encapsulation? The other class data is not enter in the main class, okay, and not modify the current class data, okay. That means provide the protection to particular data and method, okay, that we can call as a encapsulation, okay. This is possible by wrapping the data and method into single unit known as a class and declaring them as a private. Private member of the class are not available directly to outside the world, okay. Whatever the data we mention or whatever the member we mention as a private, that are not available directly outside, okay. The data is made available via public method. Thus encapsulation provides data hiding capability. So what data encapsulation is doing? Data encapsulation is doing the hiding the data capability, okay. We will study about class and private public data and method in later chapters, okay, that we discuss in the next chapters. So this is about the encapsulation, that means they hide the data, okay. Now another point is data abstraction. Data abstraction is a process of representing the essential feature of the object without including implementation detail. Abstraction is a concept that hides the complexity. Data abstraction, that means that hide the complexity, and whatever the internal process is there, that process is hide, okay. Let's see the one example, live example about the television set, okay. We can turn on the television, we turn off the television, we can change the channels also, but we can't modify the program in the particular channels. Same way, if I am on the television, that time I am unable to find whether signal is receiving to the television or whether signal is received from the television, that I am not find out it, okay. So this is the data abstraction, and the data abstraction provide the skeleton or templates for our use. The system hides certain details of how data is stored, created and maintained. All that is visible to the rest of the world is the abstract behavior of data type. Details of how that behavior implemented are hidden so that they can be changed as per the need without impacting other. So simple ways data abstraction provide the hide the certain details, whatever the details want to hide it, particular detail is hidden. And abstraction data types, the full form is asked in the many exams. Abstract data types, what is the full form of ADT? So you can note down it. Abstract data types, ADT or structures in C++ class, in C++ Java are example of data abstraction, okay. So this full form is asked in the many exams. The basic difference between data encapsulation and data abstraction is encapsulation protect data by making them inaccessible from outside, and abstraction enables the represent data in which implementation details are hidden. So encapsulation is nothing but protect the data by like another program want to access the another class data, then it's unable to fetch the data due to encapsulation. So they make protected, and abstraction enable the represent data in which the implementation detail are hidden. Okay, so details are hidden, that is abstract. Okay, data abstraction. Now another point is messaging. What is messaging? In object oriented terminology, a call to method is referred to message. Okay, in previous slide we learned about what is encapsulation. In encapsulation they protect to their data. Okay, now how to fetch that data? So based on the messaging, or you can say all method calls are handled by object that recognize the method. So in encapsulation the data is protected. Now I want to fetch that data. So method call are handled by the object. Okay, different class may use same method with same name. For example of class date has method name display that display the date object in specific format. Suppose there are other class time and person both having the method with the same name. Okay, so there are three class like date, time and person, and with the same name, with the both having the method with the same name display, and we call from all the class. Okay, with the same name we can call all the class, display time in specific format, and to display the detail of person respectively. When method display is invoked in the program, how know which method is to executed? This is determined using the object that invokes the method. For example, if display is called by an object of person class, it executes the display method defined in the person class. Same way, if display is called by object of the time, so it executed the display method defined by the time class. So whatever class is defined, from that the data is fetched, even though same method is applied. Okay, then also it execute with the particular class